Hello, my friends. Happy Friday Eve. Let's see if I can get StreamYard to connect into my free group. There we go. I think I see it. I think I see me live. Yay. Let me see if I can see the comments. One sec. You got to love setting up the tech. There we go. Perfect. All right. Kicking us off with some comments. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. You know how I like to do things around here. Every Thursday at 11:30 Central, there's an awkward pause because I am using StreamYard to go live in multiple places to maximize my time. So I'm live on my YouTube channel, I'm live on LinkedIn, and I'm live in my free Facebook group. And that's the one that always takes just a minute to actually hook up. All right, what are we going to talk about today? You've seen my emails about it. You probably saw my post about it. And a few of you are like, oh my gosh, I've got to have this information. Raise your hand if you have forgotten to ask for testimonials. Testimonials is what we're talking about today. So raise your hand, put it in the comments. If you're coming to me on replay, it's not too late. Let me know that too. Or maybe you've asked for the testimonials. You didn't forget, you asked for them and your client said yes, but they never sent them in. I got you. I'm going to give you some tips on getting those awesome testimonials with ease and without it feeling weird. But first, just in case I am brand new to you and you're brand new to me, I am Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach with over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And a lot of you know my story. About 7 years ago, I became completely fed up with my corporate career. I realized I was never going to have true control over my money. I knew I didn't have any control over my time. But being on a commission plan, I thought I did. Nope. And a lot of you know that sob story. So I hatched a plan to fully exit because I was done. And I wanted to take my gifts and talents in helping companies build their businesses. That's what I had been doing, gaining market share, growing portfolios, helping people. There was a network marketing company I was with for a while, helping people with their sales and building their businesses. When I was able to fully exit corporate, in my second full year of business, I busted through the six-figure ceiling and I haven't looked back. And I do not say that to brag. I say that to inspire you. If you're sitting in a cubicle right now in a job that feels like a jacket that is 2 sizes too small, like mine did, or maybe you've already quit and you're like, oh my gosh, is this actually going to work? I am living proof. You can do this, and you do not have to have a massive audience to do it either. You can build a multi-six-figure business like I have. I teach all organic visibility and list growth strategies, and I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs and business owners just like you to get your visibility so ramped up that your audience says they see you everywhere. And all of that visibility going directly to your email list so you get that consistent monthly income that you want. The strategies that I teach are fresh. They are not the same old tired list growth strategies that you've heard. I don't teach paid ads, and I'm not going to tell you to create yet another free lead magnet and put it out on social media. I'm going to tell you everything else you can do to get your list growth happening automatically every day in the background of your business. It's like magic. And if you're thinking, here we are in May 2025, we're in Q2, we're halfway through Q2. Oh my gosh, because it's May 15th at the time of this recording. And if you're thinking, oh my stars, I need some help to really get to my goals between now and the end of the year, and you would like to talk about having a coach like me by your side, DM me or email me. Let's short a Zoom call. That doesn't make any sense. Let's set a short Zoom call and talk about your goals, your business, how coaching with me can fit in. A lot of you know, I have elite one-to-one coaching, which is a VIP experience, major deep dive into your business. But I also offer one-off 45-minute one-to-one sessions that are perfect for 1 to 2 things that are nagging at your mind that you're struggling with. We knock those out in 45 minutes. They're only $187. One of the gals that I visited with in a 45-minute one-to-one session gained so much clarity about her daily and weekly schedule that she did not feel like a ping pong ball anymore. She was like, oh my gosh, I actually have time to do things, and I actually have control over my schedule. Another gal hired me, and she needed help getting her sales conversions back up. A few tweaks in her sales verbiage. She landed 2 clients that afternoon for a total of $5,800. All right. Enough of that. If you're coming to me live, let me know that. I'm going to go over and check the comments really fast on StreamYard. And if you're watching on replay and you have a question for me or a comment, put that in there. I'd love to hear from you. All right, testimonials. We love to get them. We forget to ask for them. And when our clients say yes to doing one for us, sometimes they don't ever send them in. Now, they're doing the best they can. There's a lot of reasons for that. We'll talk about that. But why do testimonials matter anyway? I know it's a silly question. You're like, duh, Tracy. It's important to talk about that. Testimonials are excellent social proof of your expertise and the solutions you have given your clients, how you have made a difference for them, how you have added to their lives. And using testimonials in your marketing allows you to showcase your expertise without having to get out a bullhorn and say, I'm an expert, everybody, right? They do the sales work for you. They do the connection of the trust and the credibility for you. You don't have to be like me and say, I'm an award-winning business and sales coach with over 20 years of experience. People can see my expertise from the testimonials that I'm putting out on social media and in my emails and the ones that are on my website. Testimonials give us credibility, not only with a cold audience, which is really important, but also that warm audience that just might be on the fence about working with us. As you guys know, some people are your super fans, and you may not even be aware of that. There are so many people that reach out to me and tell me they're loving my podcast. It's called Create Online Business Success, by the way. If you're following me on YouTube, LinkedIn, or my free Facebook group and you haven't become a listener, we would love to have you. But a lot of people will say, oh my gosh, I've been listening to your podcast since day one and I absolutely love it. I had no idea. Or they'll DM me and go, that live training you did was amazing. And I had no idea they were there because they didn't comment. They didn't say anything. So we have super fans. I do, you do, that are lurking, that are taking in everything you're saying. And they may be hesitant to hire you, not because they don't believe in you, but because, like a lot of us, and I presented on this topic a week or so ago, they've been burned by a bad coach or a program. A lot of you caught that training and you were telling me you could totally relate. So seeing testimonials quietly reassures them that you are who you say you are, that you deliver results, and you just might be the exact person that they need. Your clients' words are way more powerful than your own. Don't you love a word of mouth referral? Don't you love that when you're like, oh my God, I need a plumber. Oh my gosh, I need a CPA. Oh my gosh, I need a new grocery store or a new restaurant. And somebody says, go to XYZ or call this person because I had a great experience. And you're like, done. And it shortcuts your time, right? So your clients' words are way more powerful than anything we're going to say on our own behalf. And you might just be sitting on a gold mine of great testimonials that you're not showcasing. And the truth is, your clients may love you, but unless they are asked, if you don't ask, you don't get, right? Unless they are prompted, they rarely give us a testimonial or a review. So how do we ask for testimonials and when do we do it? So here's some ideas to get your wheels turning. If you're working with a client over a few months, like I do, my elite one-to-one private coaching is a 3-month commitment at first. Then we go month to month after that. We have 6 coaching sessions. So I could easily check in with my clients halfway through on that 3rd session, going into the 4th session to see how they're doing and grab a quick testimonial. You could do the same thing. So if you work with a client like that, where it's a 6-month commitment or maybe a 2-month commitment, and there's a certain amount of sessions that you're doing, about halfway through, do the midway checkpoint, check their temperature, grab a quick testimonial, especially if they're excited about something that you have helped them do. That's a great, like right after a big win or a breakthrough that your client has had, this is an excellent time to ask them if you can share that on social media, preferably with their name and their photo. But if you can't, if what you do is so sensitive that they're not comfortable with you using their photograph and their name, that's okay. There's still some ways that we can do what I call a qualifier on that testimonial without revealing or breaching privacy. So like, for example, if you're working with me, and what we're talking about, maybe you're a trauma coach and maybe I've been through a traumatic incident and I need your help, but I don't want the world to know about it, right? But I give you a testimonial. You could very easily use a simple qualifier that's not my photo, not my name. But you could use my initials if I give you permission, or you could just say, you give the testimonial and you could say something about 55-year-old wife and mother of 2 young adults. That is a qualifier. That makes that testimonial have more credibility and give people, make people think about who wrote it and what they could be going through. So there are ways that we can do a testimonial, even if your client wants to remain anonymous. And if you have a program like my 8-week group coaching program, Business Visibility Made Easy, a great time to ask for testimonials is right as the program is wrapping up. The strides they have made are still fresh in their mind. They're excited. They're involved. I have a very simple offboarding review form we send to all the students toward the end of week 7. And we do have to ask them several times to turn it in. We do have to remind them, and that's okay. Let's talk about that next, asking for the testimonials. Because I know it can feel weird to ask anyone for anything, right? It is so much easier for us to be the giver rather than to seem like we're taking. We would just rather give to other people and never ask for anything. Here's the thing. I said this just a minute ago. If we don't ask, we don't get. One of the best pieces of advice that I got when I was in business development for a title insurance company, and I was going into a real estate office, and I met the head broker, the owner of the brokerage. And she said to me, she said, as I was walking out the door, she said, "Tracy, don't forget to ask for the business." And I was like, she's so right. I just had never thought. Now, I was really good in sales. I had done really well. I had gained market share, all that jazz. But she was so right. Don't forget to ask for the sale. Don't forget to ask for the business. Don't forget to ask for the testimonial. Don't forget to ask. And people love to help, right? So, and if they love you and they love what you're doing for them, it's going to be an easy yes. And they're going to probably say something like, "Why didn't you ask me sooner? Of course I'll do that." Testimonials are so crucial for our business growth and for our longevity. And as my husband likes to say, if it's uncomfortable asking, you got to hold your nose and do it anyway. Even if it feels weird, we got to put on our CEO pants and ask. And you want to be specific and you want to make it easy, like a favor they're doing for you, not another task on their to-do list. You can give them a simple Google form like what I use with a few questions on it. You could give them a few prompts, makes it easier for them to fill in. Like one of the questions, one of the prompts we have on our testimonial and review form is, without Tracy Beaver's coaching, I would not have been able to, and they fill in the blank. And that way they don't have to think. They're just like, oh, okay. And they put something in there and it's amazing. We have to make the process really simple and quick, or we run the risk of them not sending back in that review form. So a tip on the Google, if you're using a Google form, there's you'll see a little red asterisk, that's a hard word to say, on each of the questions that you're going to ask. And you want to turn those off as much as possible. You want to make everything optional except for their name and maybe their mailing address if you really have to have that, or their email if you really have to have that. Because when all of the questions are turned on as not optional, that means they have to answer every single one in order for the form to complete. And sometimes that's just too much stress. So on a Google form, just make sure that you're not making that you want to make everything optional to answer. All right. So now that I've got you all jazzed up about testimonials, and you've gotten your courage up to ask for them with that simple form or that DM prompt, you could even email somebody a prompt. And your client said, "Yes, I would love to do this for you." All right, now let's talk about what happens next. It's a week later and you haven't received it from them. What do we do? If you know me really well, you know what I'm going to say. We follow up. The reason why I have been so successful in my business, have been so successful in sales, is because I follow up. And if you know me really well, you know my theory behind that. I will follow up with you until you either tell me to get the heck off your lawn or one of us passes away. You know, your social security number expires, mine expires. I am going to follow up with you. And the way I do it, it's not weird, I promise. But that is what my success is based on. Listen, people are busy. They are distracted. They likely didn't mean to forget about you. Or it could be, how about this? It could be that they sat down to write the testimonial and right then their toddler threw up. Or they tried 3 different times to write something and they're putting so much pressure on themselves to write the very perfect thing because you've helped them so much. And they keep procrastinating because they really want you to have the very best testimonial. Whatever the reason, we still need to follow up. And if you're going to tell yourself a story, about this. You've heard me say this before on my training about why we get ghosted in the DMs, how to feel about it. Okay. If somebody doesn't respond, there's a million reasons why, and 90% of the time it has nothing to do with us. But we get caught up in our heads and we try to tell ourselves a story of, oh, she didn't really want to do that testimonial. She said yes because I asked her and I put her on the spot. No, that's not it. Maybe her toddler threw up. Maybe they're both sick with the flu. Maybe she got a flat tire. Maybe her phone fell in the toilet. That's one of my favorite ones. Her cell phone fell in the toilet. She completely meant to send you that testimonial, and now she's distracted at the AT&T store trying to get another phone. Okay? If you're going to make up a story, make it up good. But remember, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's likely that they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves to find the perfect words. This is where the free version of ChatGPT can be really handy, can help them sort of carve out what they want to say. So how do we follow up without feeling like a pushy pusherson? We make the initial ask. The client said yes. We're off to the races. Now, here's what I do next. I set a Google task or mark it on my planner for 1 week from then, after I've sent it to them. And then I follow up if I hadn't heard anything. And I'm going to say something light and fun like, hey, Tracy, thanks so much for saying yes to writing me a testimonial about our work together. By any chance, would you have time to send me that in the next few days? Of course, my person's going to say, yes, totally meant to get you that. My phone fell in the toilet. Let me sit down and get that done for you today. Then I wait. If another week goes by, I'm going to reach back out and I'm going to say something simple and fun like, I love that you're doing a testimonial for me. By any chance, would you have 2 minutes to do that today? And if you're stumped on what to say, I totally get that. Sometimes I'm stumped on what to say. I'm happy to write something up for you to approve if that would be easier for you. And a lot of people will say yes. And all you need to do is sort of think through some of the words that they said, the transformation that they got. Maybe ask ChatGPT to help you with the words. Write something up for them to simply approve for you. That might be easier. Remember, they're not ignoring you. Remember, 90% of the time, they are just busy. They might want to get those words perfect, and that might be causing the delay. We just never know. But here's the thing. If we don't follow up, we're definitely not going to know, and we're leaving money on the table. We are leaving powerful social proof on the table. As a coach, I am known to give my clients and students challenges. Ask any of them. They will tell you. So here I am giving you a challenge for today. I want you to list 3 past clients that loved working with you, that to ask them to write a short testimonial. Just 3, or start with 2, or start with 1. Just start. Think through your follow-up strategy. Let's get that awesome social proof coming in. And if you need help with this, DM me or email me. This is perfect for one of my 45-minute one-to-one sessions. I can help you map this out, help you figure out what to say to ask for the testimonial, help you figure out what to say to follow up, all of it. All right, let me go over and check the comments in the Facebook group just to see. Let's see. Hold on one second. There we go. There's everybody. All right, I love it. Hey, Olga. Hey, Jan. Dee Dee. Jan said, I had a client from 10 years ago leave a review on my new business page without ever asking for it. I love that. That is amazing. Dee Dee's here. Dee Dee said, I've been seeing you everywhere lately. Fun fact, it's my strategies. I'm not everywhere, but it looks like I am. I love it. Sheila said it really is easier to give than to take. It totally is. It is so hard for us to ask for anything, really. But people want to help us. That's the thing. If you had a flat tire and you called a friend to say, come help me, they would rather you call and ask than sit there with a flat tire, right? And then they'd be mad at you. Why didn't you ask me for help, right? Same thing. All right. Let me see. Wendy's here. Is there a way to automate the ask? Wendy, that's a great question. Love to send an email or a text where all they have to do is click and then type something short. Yes. So Wendy, depending on the email service provider that you have, you can automate this. You could create a general email that has a testimonial, asks for the testimonial and has the form and all that jazz in it. You could even create an email that would follow up with them, and you could totally automate that. Yes, absolutely. And that Wendy is in my alum mastermind. That's a great question to ask in our next think tank session. All right. Dee Dee said, yes, that's me trying to be perfect. We are all so guilty of it. And set a task in your CRM. Yep. I know. Dee Dee said she gets in her head and thinks that people are ignoring her. Yes, we all do that. But we just have to remember that they're really not. I promise you, they're not. And Dee Dee needs a better follow-up strategy than flying by the seat of your pants. I got you. DM me. Let's talk about setting one of those 45-minute one-to-one sessions. Let's make that easy for you. Absolutely. All right. I love all the comments that are coming through, y'all. Here's what I want you to do now. Here's what I want you to do now. Tripping over my words because I got so excited about all the comments. If you are not already a part of my free Facebook group, I want you to come join us. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. Get visible, grow your email list and your income. Part of where I'm going live today is in my group. So if you're coming to me on YouTube or LinkedIn, don't ignore Facebook. Don't sleep on it. It is the #1 platform. It is a massive marketing tool and income source for your business. I've built my 6-figure business here on Facebook with all organic strategies. I'm a prime example that the platform works. Anyway, be a confident entrepreneur. Why should you join us? All the members are allowed to promote as needed. Believe it or not, it is not a spam fest because I attract people that are like you, warm, kind-hearted entrepreneurs who just want to help other people. Join us because you can ask for help and feedback on anything that you're working on. You can come learn awesome visibility and list growth strategies from me. I've got lots of free resources in the group, and you can grow your business in a super supportive community. So DM me if you need the link to it. Podcast listeners, the link will always be in the show notes, but you can also find the link on my Facebook personal profile cover photo. I want you to be here live with me every Thursday at 11:30 Central. I want you to put it on your Google Calendar, just like you're going to do those follow-ups from the testimonials. And I want you to set a phone alarm if you need to. The biggest thing I want you to hear today, I say this every single week. You're probably tired of me saying it, but I think it's so important. Don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. Some days everybody wants to buy what we're selling, and other days nobody can even remember our name, let alone what we do for a living. And if you think you're alone feeling that way, you are not. That is why it is so important to get into a community of support where you can be around other people that are doing what you're doing, and we can cheer each other on and shore each other up when the roller coaster gets rocky. I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend, and I want you to remember that when one of us rises, we all rise. So that is why we have got to keep cheering each other on. And I will see you guys next week. Next week, I have a treat. My friend Darcy Sowers is an amazing doula. She not only helps birth babies, but she teaches other doulas how to build their doula business. She's coming in to share her best practices, how she has built her very successful business, kind of an entrepreneurial inspiration journey. So don't miss it. We will be here live next Thursday at 11:30 Central. All right, my friends, I will see you then.